Travis Head joining us from Adelaide. We've learned today of the great news that you'll be back with us at the First Central County Ground next summer. How pleased are you to be coming back to Hove?
Yeah, very pleased. Loved my time in Hove this year. Probably have got a little bit of unfinished business in the way that probably I performed and the team performed throughout the season, especially in Championship cricket. Built some really great relationships there, and I can see the path that Sussex is obviously going along, and hopefully I can contribute to that path, that success this season. And I feel really great in the group. Great bunch of guys. So thoroughly enjoying coming back and trying to lead the way.
You mentioned unfinished business. You've been very honest yourself that you weren't satisfied with your performances in the Championship. Was that a kind of sense that you didn't want to leave Sussex having not sort of contributed the runs you're capable of doing in that format?
Yeah, I guess I pride myself on that. I've been really consistent over a period of time in Shield cricket in Australia, and the limited opportunities I had in either county cricket previously or pre-Ashes and Ashes. I had some nice results. It was an A2, I played really well. So you lean back on those experiences, and I just didn't quite start the way I wanted to and sort of chase my tail throughout. I think the back end of my summer, I found a little bit more consistency without that big score, but was able to contribute a lot more to the side. I'm thoroughly excited about making sure I get there pretty early season. I don't think I'm going to miss the same block of cricket that I did last season, which is also exciting because we can start. We start from the start of the season, and I can build on that, and hopefully we start really well and we can set the tone for the whole season.
For reasons out of your control, like you've just touched on, you weren't able to join us until a few games in, and you sort of talk about chasing your tail. This next summer, the aim is to have you for the whole campaign, all formats. I guess preparation in elite sport is absolutely crucial. That's going to make a big difference, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'll have learned some great lessons about coming over, and I can put those to work before I come. So I think my preparation, hopefully into the next summer, I'll do a few things differently. I've got a few ideas on to making sure that I present myself the best way possible. I want to be as consistent player as I possibly can. That wasn't the standard I wanted to be at the start of last season, and hopefully the things I learned, the lessons I learned, I can put them in good stead with the memories of previous seasons where I've been able to have some performance, and you coincide them and talking to the senior players and the coaches, and hopefully I can become a more consistent player this year.
We've learned today also that you'll be captaining the Championship side next summer. A lot of people have been asking what's going to be happening there, and now we know that you, with all your experience at South Australia, will be doing that job. How much are you relishing that challenge and working with the guys who you got to know last year?
Yeah, obviously a massive honour. I think it's something that, it's massive. It's going to be very enjoyable. Like you said, the relationships are the most important part. I think from my side of things, and it's going to be important to lean on those guys, those senior players in the team. Ollie Robb and Tom Haynes and Brownie, to name a few guys, but and obviously the relationships with Sauls and Kurt. So, like I said, I'm thrilled to be there at the start of the season to set the tone, I guess, as a captain as well. I want to be able to do that on the field, but more importantly, it's relationships that we build, and putting the team in a great space to go out there and play our best cricket. And I think we've seen glimpses of that through the season. It's definitely there. We have the talent to really compete hard and to challenge those teams at the top, and I'm excited by that, and to try to hopefully play my part in contributing to the success that hopefully Sussex can have.
And the young guys that you got to know last year, like you say, almost to a man, showed huge promise and some fantastic individual results. How much do you think they will have learned from last year about the county game and professional cricket, and how is that going to stand them in good stead for the season to come?
Yeah, there was no doubt it would have been challenging for them guys to, I guess, at the back end of the season, especially being here and watching from afar. It would have been definitely challenging for the bowlers to have that group. I think someone like Finney, who is going to be amazing for the group. You lean on those guys' experiences, but now we've got them, the young guys, some game time. They understand what's expected of them. So when they come to pre-season, they're gonna know the expectations, the feelings of going out and playing first class cricket, and they can put themselves in good stead. They can get fit, and then they can work on their game. They know they know the things they work on. They got thrown in the deep end a little bit, but I think sometimes that brings the best out of them. I think we've seen that from a range of guys throughout the back end of the season in challenging circumstances. They're able to find a way, find performances, understand there's a team that probably wasn't quite there. And that's why this pre-season is going to be so important, and starting that season is going to be so important, that you can take those memories, take those experiences, embed it into another pre-season, embed it with some senior players without the group, and really try and start the season in a positive manner and use those experiences in the best way possible.
Those of us who are at Hove sort of all the time look at this generation of young cricketers and feel hugely excited about the talent we've got in this group of players. You were someone who is obviously part of the setup, but also has that slight outsider view and has seen a lot of cricket around the world. When you look at that group of players, are you as excited about what they potentially could do in the game as we are?
Oh, immensely. I think Dan Ibrahim playing against Michael Hogan at Glamorgan, when I've played a lot of cricket against him, and I've never seen a guy look so comfortable. I think he's a prime example of someone who got thrown in the deep end. Bats and bowls. I can't wait for him to have a pre-season to see where his bowling takes him. His body will get stronger. He'll get fitter, because I think he's got amazing skill with the ball, and the composure that he showed with the bat was something that I've never seen from someone so young. So I think he's the prime example of what we try and look for. And then through Crocombe, Atkins, Hunt, these young guys who had to really take that leadership upon themselves in a young attack with Carson as a first-year spinner. Geez, that's hard. And those experiences, what they were to play against some high-quality players, that did put them to the sword a little bit, but they come back better. They come back stronger. They learn off those players, and they know where they have to be at. So they get a full pre-season now, fully knowing what the expectations are and what they're going into, knowing what's coming, and that makes them better for the run. And like I said, you mix that with some of the senior players and some of the experiences that they've had. There's no doubt we've all been young at one stage and gone through them. People will make mistakes, but we hope that you learn from those mistakes. And I think throughout the season, you've seen that, and Dan especially was amazing at that.
Obviously, you're a few thousand miles away, but will you be keeping in touch over the winter with Sauls and the guys, just seeing how preparations are going and formulating your plans for the 2022 season?
Yeah, I've spoke to Sauls this morning. I keep in close contact with the coaches and then the players I was close with. So I have done since I've got back. So yeah, the boys started today, and it was great to hear. I'm sure it's cold and dark, and it's probably the worst part of cricket is the pre-season running laps, but it will put us in good stead for the season. So all important part of the journey, but it's something that obviously I'm here in the sun playing cricket, which is more enjoyable than running laps. But I'll keep in close contact with all the boys, know what's going on, keep encouraging to run around.
And obviously you're coming as an all format player next season. You're sort of nailed in as one of our overseas for the T20 Blast. Last year you played a bit of Blast, but it was in and around Vies and Rash. I guess you'll be looking forward to a crack at a full campaign in the Blast as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think you look at that team, and it's probably they're completely two different squads, I guess. And the seniority that we had in that T20 to go out and win games of cricket, rain affected us a lot. And I think throughout that period, it's going to be hopefully the sun's out and we get a real good crack at a few games and can get that momentum going. So hopefully with the formats, I'm not sure what the schedule looks like, but I'm fingers crossed that I can get a finals day. Would be nice. I've missed at previous counties, and now for Sussex, I've missed out on that 2 opportunities in a row, and it's somewhere that you put all that hard work into those group games to get to there. You want to enjoy those successes and the fruits that you play at. So I think, obviously the challenges we had in the championship side and the experiences we had from that and the learnings from that we take into. But the flip side is that T20 team is so strong. We're going to have some great additions, and we'll be looking at being one of the stronger teams in the country again. So thoroughly enjoyed that period of time, and hopefully, can contribute to a finals day and to some success.
You mentioned the sort of separate nature of the T20 side and the championship side. I think part of the club's strategy is to try and bring some of these young guys in to be all format players, and I guess you'll have a role to play there as an all format player yourself and the captain of the championship side, a leader of these young guys, to start to show them what it's about in the Blast, and kind of narrow that gap between the two squads?
Yeah, I think you've seen some of the great individual performances that we had throughout the list A through the one day championship. There were some guys there who played some great innings, and obviously Archie had played a fair bit of the Blast, but Dan, someone who played some great back to innings as well, and Tom Haynes had some great success in the list A format. So no, we definitely got it there. It's a challenging team to get into, with obviously the experience and how well that team has played, which is also great. You've got guys who are biting at the bit to get into that team. That creates competition for spots. It can bring the best out of a lot of players. So there's no doubt that those young players that we have in that team, and then some of the few of the bowlers to mention as well. So there's definitely guys in that team that want to be playing in that team. I guess you look at that from afar, and that's the team in the country that people want to play for. We've had a lot of success in that format of the game. We play an exciting brand of cricket. So not only they're young guys in that championship team, but there's a lot of guys across the country that probably look at envy at that team at the moment. So that's great for the county, and it will keep pushing our young guys to hopefully continue to work on their game. So then when they get there, they're ready to go.
And then finally, before you come and join us, a big winter for you. Just tell us how things have been going. Obviously, we've seen some pretty big scores from you already. There's an Ashes series around the corner. I see Mark Taylor's talking you up as the guy to come into the side. What are your thoughts on that? And I guess that's still a big target for you with your Shield form and the games ahead.
Yeah, we've got 2 more Shield games to go here before probably we break off, and I'm not sure when that squad's going to be announced. But you've got to control the controllables. We go to Tassie next week, and hopefully I can play well. But over here at the moment, it'd be much the same there. It's one innings each day, someone different gets spoken about. So you can't control that. Everyone's going to have their opinion. I've started okay. I'm a bit disappointed, miss out during the week in Perth, a place I enjoy batting. But we go to Tassie. It's a new challenge, new conditions. And I'd love to have some success with South Australia. So whatever the team needs of me at a certain stage would be nice. And fingers crossed, I'd love to be playing against Ollie Robb. It'd be nice to compete against him. And I'm thoroughly enjoying some of the unbelievable series. Obviously, to have Ben Stokes back in that just makes it even stronger. And there's obviously a lot of hype around it as it being an Ashes series, as I've experienced in England. And I guess that buzz in a couple of weeks' time is going to be amazing. So fingers crossed, and hopefully it goes my way. But looking forward to experiencing that.
Talking of Ashes hype, you have to ask every Australian cricketer before an Ashes series, what's your prediction on the scoreline?
I'm going to leave that. I'm going to play a real straight bat at that. I'm going to leave that to the. I know there's a lot of ex-cricketers, English and Australian, that are going to be having that say in the next few weeks. It's no doubt going to be a challenge, and I don't think anyone probably would be able to predict it going. And I know a few of the other old boys are going to say that it's going to be 5-0, but there'll be a lot of Englishmen that would say the same thing. So. It's going to be a tough one. So it's obviously high pressure playing in it. I guess you don't try to look too far ahead at what the scoreline could be. I think you go one step at a time, and especially experiencing the ebbs and flows of an Ashes series in England. You can't get too far ahead of yourself, because then you do. That's when you look back and you sit there and you think what's just happened. So I'm going to play straight back to that one. We've got a few weeks prep, and then there's no doubt. Hopefully by the end of January we're sitting there with a win, with Ashes series win will be nice.
Very sensible, and exactly the kind of leadership qualities we want to see from our captain. So thanks so much for your time, Travis, and we can't wait to see you again in the spring.
Brilliant. Look forward to it.